Hello, my name is Ishan, and today we're going to be learning about output devices. And your Arduino kit has a bunch of devices that can be used to help express the output from some of your programs that you create. And they come in three categories: lights, sounds, and movement. So first, let's talk about the lights category. Now, there's actually an LED built into your Arduino board that you can use to help test the output on some of your programs or sensors if you don't have time to hook up a circuit with an actual LED. And it's the one right here with the L next to it. And you can actually control it through programming through your programming interface. And you can tell it to turn on and off, blink, but that's pretty much it. It can only turn on and off. It can't display anything other than an orange light. And next we have basic LEDs. And this is a green one, but you have ones that come in four colors, which are green, blue, red, white, and yellow. And as you can see here, the two prongs are different lengths, and that's because a current can only travel through an LED in one way. So these help indicate which orientation your LED should be in. And there's also a special one over here called the Rgb LED, and it has four prongs instead of three, and that's because instead of two, and that's because there are actually three LEDs housed inside this bulb. And they are red, green, and blue LEDs, and each of the currents going through them can be controlled separately, allowing you to express a variety of colors with this. Next, you have 7-segment displays. These have they do have 7 segments, but they actually have 8 LEDs inside them because you have each of the 7 segments in the display plus a little dot over here, which can be controlled. And it has 5 prongs on it. And using these prongs, you can control each of these. You can turn each of these on or off. And I'll be explaining how to do that in a separate video. And this is a 4-digit 7-segment display, and it has roughly the same amount of prongs, 6 on each side instead of 5. Although the mechanism for controlling it is a bit more complicated, and I'll be explaining how it works in a separate video. And this is an LED matrix. It has an 8x8 area of 64 LEDs, and each of them can be controlled separately through these prongs, although the mechanism for controlling them is also a bit complicated. But the good thing is that you don't have to work with like a very long or a multitude of these prongs. It's only 5, and as long as you know how to control it, it'll be easy. And then next you have this liquid crystal display, and this one has a ton of liquid crystal display pixels on it, and you can use it to display sentences or even a small picture using the Arduino programming. And then next we have sounds, and your Arduino kit comes with 2 buzzers, and one of them is active and the other one is passive. And for a buzzer to work, it needs to turn on and off at a certain frequency, and higher frequencies means that the sound it creates is higher, and lower frequencies means that the sound it creates is lower. And this is the active buzzer, and what this does is it automatically oscillates or automatically turns on and off if you give it power. But this is the passive buzzer, and what you need to do is you need to manually turn power to it on and off for it to create a sound. So the active buzzer is a bit more easy to use than the passive one. And then next you have movement, and there's 3 motors in these categories, and they all rotate to a certain extent. You have the servo motor, which can rotate within a 180-degree frame of motion, and it's consistent, although it can't rotate continuously. Next you have a DC motor, and if you give it power, it'll keep on rotating continuously, but it's hard to get precise movements or to get it to turn a certain amount of times. And then next you have a stepper motor. It can turn continuously, and it's controlled by 4 electromagnets inside, and they turn on and off in a rotating sequence. And however, it can be a bit hard to troubleshoot if something goes wrong because the mechanisms behind it are a bit complicated. Although you can get it to continuously rotate to a certain amount of degrees, like 720 degrees for 2 rotations. So that's it for this video on output devices. Thank you for watching.